This is the message for my beloved Prototype Fam community. First of all, I want to say thank you so very much for being on this journey with me in the last, I guess, 2 years. This channel has existed since September of 2020. It has been a privilege to know every single one of you, to still continue to have a relationship with you, and hopefully to have relationship with you in the past, in the future, not in the past. This has been a hallmark of this channel. Mistakes, right? So is life. So I hope to continue carry on these relationships with you in the future. I wanted to make a video because this is an important thing for me to address at this point in time. This channel has come to sort of a point where I'm not able to dedicate my 100% effort to it anymore. And I wanted you to know, I wanted you to be the first ones to know that. I'm not going to edit anything out. You're just going to see everything, all the blemishes, is everything. As you know, this channel started me speaking about Russian men. And that's how this channel became, I wouldn't say famous, but it definitely gained traction. The channel definitely gained traction. The channel definitely got some views. It had tons of interest, I would say, from people across the world. It was, for a while, it was a very international viewership going on my channel. And as you know, the events of February of 2022 this year changed everything. You've seen my videos, you know exactly how I feel about what's going on, and the fact that I was no longer able to talk about Russian Man, and I'm not going to talk about Russian Man going forward, not as a content anyway, as a pillar of my content, as a main theme of a channel. Just wasn't going to happen. And to be quite frank, this channel hasn't been the same. You know, I don't know if it's necessarily, you know, the most likely, I think, actually, I don't know. I can only make some educated guesses, but my educated guess why this channel never ended up with the same amount of traction is because the algorithm and the popularity of the channel was very much anchored on Russian men. And maybe there's algorithm that really was pushing this theme, you know, forward, and that theme no longer existed on the channel. And some of the oldest videos that I created actually still ended up with the most views. I've enjoyed thoroughly learning about relationships and speaking about relationships. I feel like we've covered a lot of ground. I feel like we've had some amazing conversations. I've really enjoyed the direct interaction with every single one of you. Some of you I've developed personal relationship with. Some of you I've met in person and interacted, you know, in a variety of ways. And so I cherish those things very, very, very much. I think it's a bit unfair for me to continue on with my members, charge for memberships, and continue on with this channel when I cannot provide you with quality content. And I feel that I've reached the point where I simply don't have the same amount of passion and the same amount of desire to put it in this channel. And speaking of which, I am shifting my focus on my new channel, which will be dedicated to salsa dancing. Some of you who've, you know, been following me for a while know that I've been taking salsa lessons, and I thoroughly enjoy that, and I already started the channel. So if any of you interested in learning about salsa and joining me on my journey becoming a salsa dancer, I will be more than happy to share my new channel with you, and you can still get that type of content from me. But as far as the relationship content, I've also learned that relationship content is so subjective. And maybe it's good on one hand, but not so good on the other hand. At times, I think it was difficult to agree with people. I think we're also going through very difficult stretch of time as a society at large. I think there's a lot going on between genders. I think there's a lot going on culturally speaking. I think many different aspects are playing a role into how men and women interact with each other right now, and how all of this impacts relationships in the romantic sense, of course. And so in some way it's a relief to walk away from this area, from this subjectivity, and everybody is wanting to, I wouldn't say everybody wanting to be heard, but in a way, everybody have their own experiences, right? So it's difficult to really come up with some sort of agreement. And people can get offended. And I know I offended people for sure with my content, and probably more than one occasion. And do I regret it? No, of course I don't regret it. Because again, we all go through different parts of life. I mean, I'm sure that I went through some things even recently to where I was disappointed in some people, I was disappointed in some experiences, and of course, that's going to show up in my content. Of course, I have plenty of bias. Of course, some of the things that I've spoken about come from my personal experience. Those things are obvious. And it was great to share those things. But I'll be honest, at times it was also a bit nerve-wracking, right? Because everyone has an opinion. Everybody will respond. Sometimes negative responses kind of mess with your mind a little bit. I had to learn how to develop thin skin. All in all, I am very grateful for the channel. That's not a complaint session. All in all, I'm extremely grateful for the channel. The thing that I'm most grateful about is this community, is the connections that I created, is hopefully the connections that you were able to create with one another as a community. And when it comes to the Discord channel, and when it comes to the members' Instagram channel, this is going to stay, of course. Of course, I'm not going to delete that, because any kind of interaction and positive relationships that we've built, I hope that we can continue on with and we can maintain. Because this is what it's all about. It's about the people, it's about relationships. I just wanted to take time to thank everyone. I didn't mean to make a long video. It ended up being sort of a lengthy video. But, maybe I will put a couple of shorts, the short format videos here and there. But when it comes to my long-term format, my live shows, I'm going to be shifting my attention to my new channel. I hope you understand. I wish you all the very, very best. As I mentioned, we can certainly stay in touch. I still be in those groups, Discord and Instagram group. In terms of memberships, obviously, I don't expect you to remain a member because I'm not going to be able to provide you with content. But I do hope that you can still come back and interact on Instagram. I intend to do so. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for commenting on my videos. Thank you for sharing your personal things with me. Thank you for helping me with words of encouragement, with constructive criticism. Thank you for being there for me when I've been at my lowest, whether it be, situation in my home country, whether it be COVID or anything else in between. I think you're an amazing community. I am extremely grateful and privileged to interact with all of you, every single one of you. This is not goodbye. This is just see you later. And again, I hope that we'll stay in touch. Peace Prototype is out.